Oh yeah. Hello, test. Oh, is it still on? I think we can almost start. I don't know if the people online can hear me. Yeah, perfect. Okay. I don't know where to look to see you all online, so I think I'll just look like this. Yeah, can we start? Okay. Hi everyone. Sorry for the bit of delay over here. We had a bit of a technical issue, but I'm glad to see you all here in the room. I can't see the people online, but they're here apparently. um, so welcome to our side event. I don't know if I can move this thingy. Yeah. Okay. So we're here at the Engine side, Ambassador side event. Most of a few of us here in the room are Engine ambassadors. We have a booth down below in the atrium. So if you've seen it or haven't seen it yet, please come by in the coming days. But I'll also tell in this presentation what Engine is, what we're doing, and everything around it. I don't know if yeah. Okay, so what we're doing today, it's a very interactive sessions, also for the people online and for the people here in the room. So be prepared to talk with us, think with us, prepare with us. So that would be great. What I'm first going to do is an Engine introduction. What is Engine? What are we doing? We're the Next Gen Agricultural Impact Network, as seen on the screen, but I'll tell more about it later. Then we have something about regenerative agriculture, as in the name of this presentation. We'll tell what it is and what you do with regenerative agriculture. We'll see some examples and struggles by Engine ambassadors farmers, because some of us are farmers. And then we'll do a hackathon and a finishing up. So the Engine, Next Generation Agricultural Impact Network. I don't know if I can step back or they can still hear me when. Okay. But Engine, Next Generation Agricultural Impact Network, is a network of 17 partners, companies, universities, schools, organizations from all around the world. Among the World Food Forum since last week, so that's amazing. World Food Forum is part of the Engine network. And out of these partners, some ambassadors were selected. Right now we have around 30 ambassadors worldwide, the Engine ambassadors. And these ambassadors met for the first time this year in Costa Rica, where we had a full week flagship event on agriculture, which is very interesting. And the ambassadors are all young people active in agriculture. So some of us are farmers, like Lindsay here, who will tell something about his practice. Some of us are more on the communication side. We're all around the supply chain. So that's really cool to see. And our aim, as stated on the presentation, is to empower youth in agriculture and related fields by including them right from the start. What we want is to create a community. We want to create structures, programs. We often have pop-up talks with interesting people. We had a pop-up talk with someone who's in space agriculture. We had a pop-up talk with someone in regenerative agriculture, same as the topic over here. So we do really nice and cool things. We're here at the World Food Forum to talk and chat with you all. So yeah, please follow us online. At the end of the presentation, I have a QR code that you can scan to follow us. And what we want eventually is also to unlock resources to get more people into agriculture, to make it more attractive for young people, agriculture, and to eventually have more young people in agriculture in general, or all around the world. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do a hackathon. I don't know if this term is known to all of you. Yeah? Okay, cool. The hackathon is about a question which was raised during the flagship event. So during the flagship event, we were talking what are the struggles of a farmer right now. Why young people want to be a farmer right now? And what we heard from our ambassadors was that often it's long, hard work. You're with your feet in the mud all the time. It's not attractive anymore. Why would you do a lot of work for little money? And why then would you be sustainable as well? Because often sustainable practices of agriculture are not necessarily bringing in more money. So how can we change this around? And this is where this question raised. We need to get more young people because the average age of a farmer is shockingly high worldwide. I think it's around 60 years old right now. So we need more young people in agriculture, and we have a changing climate. So we need a more sustainable other practice of agriculture, which could be regenerative agriculture. And therefore, the question of this hackathon today is how do we encourage young people to engage in regenerative agriculture? And we want to think about it with all of you here from the room and also with the people online. But first, I think it's important to know a bit more about regenerative agriculture. And therefore, we have Nimesh coming in, another NGIN ambassador. My name is Silke, by the way. I didn't introduce myself, but I'm from the Netherlands. I'm also the chair of the NGIN ambassador. So please pop by and talk to me about NGIN because I would love to talk more about NGIN. And this is Nimesh, who's going to talk more about regenerative agriculture.
Thank you, Silke. My name is Nimesh Kumar Gorani. I'm a secretary of NGIN Ambassadors Community. So today I will talk about regenerative agriculture. So before we start our hackathon, it's very important to understand what does it mean by term regenerative agriculture, what are the principles lying in that farming system. So so far today, there is a still lack of clarity in the definition of regenerative agriculture. However, there are some principles there which are widely understood. Okay. so, okay. Let's come back. Then, so let's first understand the common principles. So in regenerative agriculture, we mostly focus on how we can continuously maintain vegetation cover on the soil in order to reduce carbon emission and also preserve organic matters. We reduce soil disturbance to promote stabilization of organic matters on soil mineral complexes. Then we also maximize nutrients and water uptake, water use efficiency by plants. Then in regenerative agriculture, we also emphasize more on how we can maintain soil biodiversity, which is very essential to maintain soil health. Now, to achieve these principles, there are some practices that we can follow in our farming activities. So for the first one is reduce tillage as much as possible. Either we should focus minimum tillage or maybe no tillage and grow more cover crops to reduce carbon emission from soil and degeneration of organic matter. We also focus more on crop rotation, grow very different kind of crops. And if it is possible, it is recommended to follow perennial crops because in that we don't do much tillage practices. So I think that's very important to focus this kind of cropping system. In integrated livestock management, we also follow these practices to improve our grazing management and utilization of compost and organic waste to maintain soil health. Now, this is really important question. How is it efficient to scale this regenerative agriculture system worldwide? So while practice like cover croppings are growing popularly, we believe that achieving widespread adoption across millions of farmers would be difficult. But in reality, if we see that, then the data suggests that today there are more than 600 million hectares of agriculture land, which are some form of which are based on some form of conservation agriculture, and this uh, system is growing at the rate of 20 million hectare per year. Especially smallholder farmers which are not privileged to, or maybe for them it's a bit difficult to access latest agriculture inputs and technologies, and therefore they are moving more towards adopting regenerative agriculture practices. Thank you. Now I would like to share the stage with our engine farmer, Lins Kidses. He's from the Netherlands. So, Lins.
Um, Hi, I'm Lins Keizers. I'm a Dutch dairy farmer. I'm also an engine ambassador. I can tell you something about my farm and the struggles I have to get little steps to regenerative agriculture. But first, a little overview about my business. At home, we have 60 milking cows. We produce, after production per cow is 10,000 kilos each year. We have 20 hectares of land. My milk goes to a corporation, so they increase the value of our milk, and the rest are business decisions we make are data-based. So we are milking the cows with a milking robot, so we get a lot of data out of that, and so we can making our decisions about treatment are based on data. Other things we do. So as you see, last year we have the making our farm electrical neutral. So we produce more electricity via the solar panels than we use electric. The other things that we are doing is we are breeding our cows with genomics. So each calf we take some hair, we that researched on genomics, so we can get the right bull with the right mother. So we get more efficient cows than that are. Wait a second. We read it on healthiness, efficiency, and vitality. So each calf that we have must go getting older and getting a higher life production as the cows that we now have. On the fodder production, we do use co-products from the food industry. So not all our concentrate comes around the world, but we probably get it out of the region. This year we also used corn cob mix. We buy the maize from our neighbor and make our own concentrate, so we get a less impact on the environment. Also, we do have seeded herbs to our grassland, so that's good for the health of the bottom of the soil and the health of the animals, so they get a diverse diet and get more essential nutrients. Next year we will go another step to decrease our impact on the environment, because we got getting our greenhouse gases decrease. We do that with a lily sphere that will get air out of the storage of slurry that will be washed by acidified water, and that can catch up the ammonia and other greenhouse gases, so we can make our own fertilizer out of that. Another thing that's water. We hold the water with, we have in the Netherlands, we have a lot of water, and we will get it, hold it on our farm. So every ditch we have, there is a wire in, so we can hold this water as long as possible, so the plants and the bottom get more water. So the root is longer and higher, so we can not have anything about drought and something like that. But we do a lot, and we do a lot, and we will do more, but it will be step by step. And my question on you all is, how can we get our farm or other farms more making steps to regeneration agriculture, and how we must do it? Because we can make steps, but if we can make profit out of it, we have also a problem. So which step we can set and we will make, but how can we make it profitable and getting more, that is a real big thing, you know? Oh, sorry. That's David. Yeah. Do we have the film of David?
Great. Okay, thank you, Linz. There were some videos here, but they, in the technical issues, they got cut out. Sorry. So these two were two videos about the farm of Linz. Thank you, Linz. I think that's a great example of young farmers trying to be more regenerative, but it's also like what Linz is saying, it's hard to do it. You have to do it in steps. You can't do it all at once, but how can we make it easier? How can we make these steps profitable? How can we make it durable for all farmers, not only in the Netherlands, but all around the world? We had another video of David, who's a dairy farmer in Ireland. Unfortunately, the video also got cut off, but if you are interested in his videos, I'm more than welcome to share them with you after the session. So please send me an email or send Engine an email, and we will share more information about his practice. I can tell you something about his practice. What he's doing with the regenerative agriculture is that he has a part of his land that he uses for agroforestation, and he's keeping more bees to get the soil in better health, also to get more biodiversity around his farm. So up to the hackathon, up to you to do the talking instead of us. So the main question is, how do we encourage young people to engage in agriculture? So what I'm asking of you here in the room, if you're willing to participate, but also online, is to think about this question. We can form small groups to think about this, and some sub questions with this to think, because it's quite a big question, of course. Some sub questions would be: why is agriculture not attractive for youth? Why in general? How can we propose and promote a solution in our working fields? Do we need any partners or alliances? What instruments or tools do we need to get more young people engaged? Where should money come from? Is that the governments? Is that organizations? Where should it come from? That's a question I ask myself each day as well. No. And then where should we start? So how to start with doing this, like Linz is saying, step by step, or in one time. So this is where I invite you. Ebun is here in the room, but she will help the people online to form a group and talk about it together. Serious talking with. And then people in the room, maybe if you want over there, we can create a group, and then over here maybe two groups if you're willing to participate. There's paper underneath in the tables that we can use to describe subscribe. And then there's lovely engine ambassadors helping you to engage in the conversation, talk about it. And we will all gather up in around, what time is it? Maybe 15, 20 minutes, depending on how the conversation is going. And we would love to hear your answers coming up to the questions. Okay.